Hey guys, welcome back to GL Robotics. Today I'm going to introduce you to the 600D, an absolutely massive 3D printer. Today we have Jeremy here with us to ask us some questions about the 600D.
Why on earth would somebody want a printer this large?
Honestly, it's mostly going to be people that want to print like molds for car parts, large pieces of cosplay costumes, especially people that are doing it as like their main job. I think that's generally the market for this print. With the 600mm cube build volume, it opens up a lot of doors for you that say something like the FL Sun behind you just won't allow you to do. Like with that, you'd have to break up your pieces into multiple parts, and this you can print them all at once.
Really? Okay, so how big of a roll can you fit in there?
Yeah, right now it only supports 1 kilogram rolls, which I think is kind of silly, especially for a printer of this size and what you're going to be printing on it. We've run into some issues where, like during the weekend, it'll run out of filament, and like you're not here to reload another roll in it. So we've tried to adapt it to be able to use 5-pound rolls of filament, and it's worked out pretty well for us. But if you do want to use the 1 kilogram rolls, you're getting the benefit of being able to use the dryer box and everything that is built into the printer.
Gotcha. So what kind of firmware does this run?
This is actually running Flipper. It's a lockdown, not lockdown version. Let's put it that way. So it's lockdown in the sense that it's Mingda's skinned version of Flipper, just like, Bamboo or FL Sun would be, but not lockdown in the aspect of they'll actually give you the information to run SSH on it so that you can get in there and install apps like Obico so you can view it from anywhere that you want to.
Gotcha. So this does have a camera in it?
Yes, this does actually have a camera up here in the side. It's actually real time. Let me see if I can remember how to get it open here. Nope. Where is the camera? Why do you make this so difficult?
Is that a shoe print?
Yeah, some rude customer decided to come in here and
Interesting.
make himself at home inside of our printer.
At least he could fit though, right?
I mean, yeah, at least he could fit and he had plenty of room in there. It's almost like with any Flipper firmware, sometimes it has to run through one command before it'll process another.
Right.
And so it just takes a second. But you can view the internal webcam right here on the screen on the printer itself or in the web UI on your computer.
Sure, or you could install with SSH, you could install the plugin for Octo app and you can view it from anywhere.
You can install Okta Anywhere. You can install Obico, which we actually have installed on ours, so we can actually control it and view it from anywhere, no matter whether we're on our local network or not. And I love the fact that Mingda allows the user that kind of access and control for their printer.
So walk me through what this is. Is this some sort of calibration device?
So that is actually to calibrate the XY crosshairs for the nozzles. So because there's 2 nozzles built into one head on this, you have to calibrate them so that when they print different materials and everything are aligned. It's almost like an IDEX printer when you have to calibrate the 2 heads on that.
But they're both in the same head.
They're both in the same head. So it moves the head over there, lines the nozzle up with that camera, and you actually adjust it until it's perfectly with these crosshairs to make sure that the nozzles are aligned where they need to be.
So what's the benefit of having 2 nozzles like that? What can you do with that?
It's going to allow you to print your main material, but also like a different type of, say, support material. Mingda makes some PET carbon fiber filament that's really, really strong, but they also make support filament that's pretty much specifically designed for that comes really easily off of the PET carbon fiber when you're done.
Isn't there also dissolvable support materials?
So there are.
For PLA?
There's dissolvable support materials that are more for PLA.
So is it a remote extruder or is it a direct drive?
It's direct drive.
Okay.
So it's not a like reverse Belgian tube or anything else like that. It's a direct drive. You load the 2 rolls of filament over here. They run through the tube down to the head right there. And then the extruders are actually right underneath that little white piece of tape that pull the filament in. Okay, the cool part about this printer is when you're loading filament, there's a button back here on top of the head. All you have to do is push that button and it loads it from the head.
Oh, that's great.
So you don't have to like come up here and mess in the screen, go back. It's just, you push that button and it automatically does it.
So what printer technology is this? I know a lot of large printers are a Core XY. Is this a Core XY?
It's a very large.
Okay.
XY.
Okay.
I don't know the specific terminology for this one. I think instead of the bed moving up and down and the head staying in place and just moving around, this one uses the gantry and moves up from the bed as it points up, but the head still moves along the X and Y axis.
So does it have auto gantry leveling?
It does. So you'll notice it when you hit the leveling feature on it. You'll see it'll go around and like, instead of probing the bed on this one, it just uses a sensor where it runs back and forth across the bed to get its leveling. And you'll see it adjust the gantry before doing anything. And then when you start the print, it'll actually auto level itself.
So what kind of speeds can this printer hit?
So Mingda markets it at 300 millimeters per second when you're printing PET, carbon fiber, ABS, all that good stuff. When you're printing like your regular PLA, PETG, and things like that. PETG, you still have to slow it down a little bit because that's just how PETG is. It likes to stick to itself, and if you go too fast, it doesn't stick to anything else.
Sure.
PLA though, 400 millimeters per second, you're doing pretty good. And I think with a printer this size, that's fairly reasonable speed to expect.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that is both a pro and a con is that it has the two heads in one assembly. So I say it's both a pro and a con because when you're working on it, it's much easier. When you're calibrating it, it's much easier than doing like an IDEX machine where you'd have to calibrate two separate heads. It's a con because one of the heads is actually motorized. And so when you're not printing with it, it raises itself up. And then when you are printing with it, it raises itself down. Now, if you have to cancel a print with the machine and you don't home it before you try to restart another print, it leaves that other nozzle down and it'll scrape up your. So that's something we're trying to get with Mingda on to fix in firmware so that that's just an automatic, like it does it automatically as soon as you cancel a print. So, you know, it's one of those things, firmware development.
Still active.
Yeah, and it's a very active thing with this printer. Also, like if you were to purchase this printer from GL Robotics here in the United States, you also have the peace of mind knowing that you have an active technician that can come to your location to actually help you with the printer.
All right, John, I have a completely original question for you. What's the warranty on this unit?
So this unit actually comes with a 12-month manufacturer defect warranty. So if you get mad at it, beat it with a hammer, or kid goes in there, jumps up and down and spills apple juice all over it, or like you clog up the nozzles, that's not going to be covered under warranty. But belts break, motor stop working, things like that, those will be covered under warranty for 12 months from purchase. With that warranty, you know, if something needed to be fixed on it, I would get sent out to you and help you replace that part.
So how much does a printer like this cost?
Well, this one is $19,999 before taxes or any kind of freight costs are calculated, and that's just because we have to know where we're shipping it to and, you know, who's buying it. And also, if it's not one that we have in stock in our inventory, you know, there will be like the international import tax for the printer coming in. So all that has to be calculated into the price, and that's why we have people get a hold of us for quotes on the printers before going through with the sale.
Well, thanks for introducing me to this printer today.
Absolutely. If you want any more information about the printer, visit us at glroboticsusa.com. Make sure to leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel so you can get more content like this coming up, and thanks for watching.